Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this video, I'm going to cover a piece from A&B Crypto titled "Ripple Takes a Step Towards Decentralization as it Sees a Significant Fall in its dUNL." That's default UNL. I did touch on this story yesterday, but it was more of like just a quick comment in the moment that I was really covering other pertinent things in the last video in which I touched on this. So I want to properly cover it today in this video. I'm going to touch on, just very briefly, some bullet points from a CoinDesk article about Bitcoin's price, just to try and put things in perspective. I know I just made a video about the price action with XRP and how just the market in general is crashing today, so I'm not going to spend too much time in this video, just a few brief comments on it. And then I'll wrap up the video by sharing with you this is an interesting title from CoinDesk. It's about a blockchain that is, how did they phrase it? Deliberately flawed blockchain. Meet Fumble Chain, the deliberately flawed blockchain. So I thought that'd be a fun way to wrap up the video, especially if anybody's feeling a bit nervous about price. So let's try and lighten the mood. I think everything's gonna be okay. In case you didn't check out my last video, it's not financial advice, but I am Mr. XRP Bull. And I want to say again, before I get into the content here, I don't care about this short-term price action. It has nothing to do with the fundamentals. The fundamentals were very strong yesterday, and they are at least as strong today. Okay, I'm not going to let people who panic sell ruin my day. Just don't care. That's just my 2 cents. All right, now let's get into the content so that I don't go off another tangent about price here. So this piece, again, titled A&B Crypto, Ripple Takes a Step Towards Decentralization as it Sees a Significant Fall in its Default UNL. Ripple is undoubtedly one of the largest firms in the crypto space today. The San Francisco-based exchange has been stung by a lot of criticism recently, despite repeated attempts by the Brad Garlinghouse-led team to disambiguate centralization claims of its cryptocurrency, XRP. A lot has been argued about its consensus protocol, the most recent one being on the issue of Ripple's validators. Ripple's bone of contention has been the transactions on its network that need to be verified by the list of approved unique nodes. However, in Ripple's latest effort towards decentralization, the San Francisco-based firm has reduced its default unique nodes list, dUNL, a ratio which stands at 21.2%. And you can see on the screen right here, 79% non-Ripple validators. Well, how about that? Ripple does not have any special permissions over the XRP ledger. It is sufficiently decentralized, and it will continue to become more decentralized as Bitcoin, conversely, becomes more centralized thanks to terrible proof-of-work technology, which, yes, eliminates the double spend problem, but results in mining centralization. Not really a fan of that. And the piece continues. There are 33 validators in the dUNL, out of which 7 are Ripple validators, while non-Ripple validators account for 26, 25 independent, 1 unknown, i.e. 78.8% at press time. As depicted in the following chart, the non-Ripple validator count has been on the rise since June 2018 and has exhibited significant growth pattern in the inclusion of new players in the scene. And so there's another chart on the screen. If you're not driving or not jogging and just sitting at a place where you can look at your phone or your tablet or your computer screen or TV, whatever you're looking at, you can see the chart right there. And that is, you can see, look, month to month to month to month, you can see decentralization actually taking place on this distributed ledger technology here that is XRP. The non-Ripple validator list includes Bitrue, BitHomp, Bitso, and Blockdaemon, among others. The development was announced by XRP Research Center on Twitter, with the tweet reading, "Decentralization Update. Validators operated by @Bitrue official and @Blockdaemon have been included to the dUNL and have now a greater responsibility in the consensus process." And then there's a link there too. So how about that? Heading in the right direction, wouldn't you say? I'm telling you, all the Bitcoin maxis out there, they're the more decentralized they get, the less of an argument they have. They don't really have any legit arguments from my perspective anyway. The strongest argument they could state, and I still think it's a big nothing, is they like to point out that there is a, quote, centralization of XRP in the hands of Ripple, and I'm like, so what? There are also, I want to know how much Bitcoin do the Winklevoss twins have? How much does Binance have? How much does Coinbase have? There's all sorts of big players that have gigantic stashes of Bitcoin. How about Satoshi Nakamoto, who has, 1 million Bitcoin? That guy has more money than God. This is ridiculous, So I just, it's a bogus argument in my mind. And then on top of that, even if, look, I was aware of Ripple having a huge stash of XRP when I bought in the first place. I decided, yes, I'm aware of this, and I don't care, because all evidence points to Ripple being a good steward of the XRP ecosystem. And even if they weren't, they'd wreak havoc on the price of XRP for short term, and then they could only do it for so long. It's just it's a big nothing. And who has a greater interest in seeing the price of XRP rise over time than Ripple? I mean, there is no one else that has a greater interest than Ripple. So think about it. For their own self-interest, yes, they want a healthy XRP ecosystem. This is not rocket science here. All right, next piece, and I will be very brief on this, I promise. But this is from CoinDesk today, titled "Bitcoin's Price Looks Set for a Drop to $10,000." I just want to read the several bullet points. Bitcoin appears to be on track to test the psychological support of $10,000 as the daily chart moving averages and other key indicators have turned bearish. A high-volume price breakdown seen on the hourly chart also favors a drop to $10,000. However, the hourly chart indicators are reporting a bullish divergence, so a price bounce to $10,700 could precede a drop to $10,000. The outlook as per the daily chart would turn bullish if prices print a UTC close above $12,000. And so the reason that I wanted to read through just those bullet points, and again, I'm going to wrap up this topic real quick and then hop on to the next thing. I wanted to point out, because I'm not sure if I made a strong enough case for this or pointed out sufficiently in my last video, XRP price, it's down today just like every other altcoin, like I did point out in my last video. It's following Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. And yes, you can make the point that as Bitcoin went up, XRP didn't really go up so much. Well, it doesn't, but I think that's because it doesn't perfectly move in tandem. It just generally does. And then you can make the point also that Bitcoin went down and XRP did go down. So it did move in tandem with it there. So that's why I say sometimes it moves in almost perfect unity with Bitcoin. Most of the time, it's not quite so perfect. It's not down to the minute or the hour or the day or the week or month or whatever. But it does, if you zoom out on a chart far enough, you can see that it parallels the activity almost perfectly. It's pretty amazing. You just got to zoom out far enough to see it here. And so you could say that it's weird that the price of Bitcoin went up, XRP didn't, but then when Bitcoin went down, it did. But that doesn't really paint the whole picture, because that's not always what happens. A lot of times when Bitcoin goes up, XRP does go up. Just zoom out on a chart, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. And then here's a tweet from Ken Melendez. I like this, and so I gave it a like on Twitter and retweeted it. So Ken Melendez writes, "Wise investors look more at utility as opposed to speculative price. A lot of players within the XRP community know what's up and see this as an opportunity to keep stacking." Well said, Ken. Shout out to ya. All right, last piece, and then I'll wrap up this video. This is from CoinDesk. Meet FumbleChain, the deliberately flawed blockchain. FumbleChain makes breaking blockchains a sport. Demonstrated for the first time last Thursday at the Black Hat InfoSec event, the deliberately flawed technology is meant to act as an educational tool for crypto developers. Basically, this is what people call CTF, or Capture the Flag, explains Nils Amiot, a senior security engineer at Kudelski and one of the developers behind the project. Whenever you solve a challenge, that is when you get the flag. The challenges are pretty technical. Through these curated and gamified challenges, the aim is to teach users about the complexities of blockchain technology. According to Dan Guido, co-founder and CEO of cybersecurity firm Trail of Bits, which has audited over 20 different cryptocurrency projects, FumbleCoin is similar to the war games used in traditional software development. And here's a quote now. "Competitions and training exercises are used throughout the security industry, sometimes in live competitions of 30,000 or more players at one time, to help educate and demonstrate the knowledge that participants have gained said Guido, adding, "It's long overdue for blockchain security to have its own war game." I think that's kind of a cool concept, don't you? I don't know. I thought plus it was a little lighthearted story. I was like, amidst all of this price turbulence, I thought I'd share this with you. Anyway, the piece continues. Users collect game points dubbed fumble coins every time they exploit a vulnerability in the fumble chain blockchain and capture one flag. The coins are only of value within the game itself. What? Not put them on exchanges? Come on, I want to buy a fumble coin. No, I do not. Kudelski's Amiet says Fumble Chain's core technology looks a lot like Bitcoin, only simpler. Daryl, I bet it's all centralized though. Anyway, Daryl Hawk, COO of blockchain cybersecurity company Certic, said Fumble Chain is designed to make blockchain approachable for engineers coming from a diverse set of backgrounds. Fumble Chain provides a gamified war games model that may interest a broad audience with its approachability and incentives, said Hawk. The project currently focuses on source code level attacks as opposed to economically oriented attacks, but that may be something that is added in the future. Indeed, Kudelski, head of cybersecurity research Nathan Hamiel, hopes Fumble Chain will take on a life of its own now that the code has been open sourced on GitHub. And here's the last piece on this. Here's a quote. So many projects like this have a tendency to wither away as people move on to other things, said Hamiel. I feel the only way to have a successful project like this is to have it be open source. We're hoping people continue to not only utilize but develop new challenges and really come on board and be a part of the project. So there you go. So I'm going to wrap up the video at that, but I tell you, I think that it's fantastic. Look, there's so much positive news. I'm reporting on a daily basis. I'm so entrenched in all of this because I find it so genuinely fascinating. And that's why it's so fun for me to run this YouTube channel as a hobby. And I just see day after day, it's the vast majority of what I'm seeing in the news and what I'm able to report is so positive for, well, first of all, the crypto asset class and XRP as a digital asset. And so things are moving forward. I just reported on further decentralization of the XRP ledger in this video. There's all sorts of real world adoption taking place here. And so, I just want to say again, everything's looking rosy to me despite the price action that we're seeing today with XRP and the rest of the asset class. It's not specifically XRP. That's just one of many. But we are where we are. And with that, I will wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Very genuinely appreciate the support. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!